All right, well, we got something interesting today. And I've got some new parts for this big Dodge. Specifically, a Gale Banks emissions legal, full 50 state carb legal monster ram and high flow intake plate. And I did it mainly, well, because it's going to look cool, of course, and that it gets rid of the grid heater. So I know it's rare, but I've read stories about that bolt kind of falling out and getting into the engine and screwing stuff up. So I don't want that to happen because I want to keep this truck for a long time. And so I bought it. But what I don't see is, anybody actually doing A/B testing with the system. And so what I'm going to endeavor to do today and tomorrow is take this thing out, warm it up good, and then I've got a Dragy. So I'm going to try to do a couple of 0 to 60 pulls on the stock system, completely stock. Then we're going to change it out tomorrow, which looks fairly involved. I'm not going to do a lot of how-to video because Gale Banks has a really good how-to video of that anyway. I'll probably link that if anybody wants to see how you're supposed to do it. But once we get it going and running properly, which hopefully won't take much other than installing it, then we're going to go out and do this same thing again and see if we can see a difference. And personally, I'm not really expecting any because, it flows way better than stock and most of the other things on the market, but you still have your completely stock turbo, intercooler, all the piping and exhaust and everything else, plus all the emissions stuff. So I think it's just going to be a really expensive piece of underhood jewelry, which is fine with me, but that's what we're going to test. So we're going to take this thing out right now. God, I hate this road. And warm it up, and then do a couple of 0 to 60 pulls. I won't even be speeding on the roads that I'm going to be on. And then we'll put it on tomorrow, try it again, see if there's any noticeable difference. Like I said, I don't think so, but we're going to find out. So, see y'all in a bit. Alright, so we're driving. We got the engine up to temperature, but the hardest thing about this, because it runs so cold, is to get the transmission and the oil up to temperature. So, I want to get the trans up around 160. We'll try to get the oil up around 190, and then we'll be good to give this thing a shot, I guess. Alright, well, I don't feel like driving around for another 3 days to heat this trans up. It's at 138, probably be 140 by the time we're ready to do this. That's going to be good enough. Coolant's at 192, oil's about 183. Ambient temperature is about 74. Front tires are 85 and 62 front and rear. We're going to have it in four-wheel drive, and we're just going to not even boost it up. We're just going to stop when we get a chance and go is what we're going to do. Alright, so we're going to try to get this set up to where we have a decent place, nobody behind me, nobody in front of me. These roads are pretty straight, pretty quiet, so nothing major going on there. But we'll pick it up with the old Dragy video. Alright, well, I think the Dragy is possibly ready to rip. Looks like we're going to be good. Satellites. That's fantastic. There it goes. Okay. Here we go. Nobody behind me, nobody in front of me. We're in drive. Put it in 4. Reset. And go.
50,
3.79, 0 to 30.
Quarter mile.
Yeah, well, that doesn't matter. And 11 point, what do we got? 0 to 60 was 10.18. So that's interesting. Try it again. This time we'll take a video. It doesn't like the satellites on this road. We'll do one more, see if I can actually get this on camera this time. Very consistent, 3.8 and 10.09.
Quarter mile.
So, not bad. One more time. Didn't matter whether it was in 2 or 4-wheel drive. 3.9, 10.1. So I guess that answers that question. So 3.9, 0 to 30, 10.0, 10.1, 0 to 60. I don't know, that's, I guess, what you might expect for a nearly 9,000 pound truck. So I'm gonna let this thing cool off overnight and try it again after we get the new parts on, see if it matters. I still don't think it will. But we'll find out. All right, well, I was getting ready to get all this moving today so we could finish up the video, the install and all that stuff, and then the testing. But luckily last night, before I started taking the big truck apart, I laid it all out and I'm missing some parts. The box with all of the Ram stuff in, this part number, seems to be correct. It's got all that stuff in there. But this box, which has the heater plate in it, that's all it has, is this heater plate and the gasket. There's no heater, there's no spacers for the fuel rail like they show in their video. There's no little wiring harness. There's supposed to be 3 of them, as you can see here. You can see the little heater I don't have. Yeah, there's a few things missing. So that sucks, but I will call them on Monday and see what we need to do to get the parts. So, anyway, we'll put the first half of this video up so y'all can see what I am trying to do. And then once I get the parts from Banks, get this thing on, we'll finish the test and see if it actually makes a difference, other than it's going to look really cool. So, anyway, we will talk to y'all later. Hope you're all having a good day. Take care.